My name is Angus, aka Dreems, and this is my partner from our label Multi-Culti, Thomas Von Party. Say hello, Thomas.
Hi.
He's Canadian. I'm Australian.
So we started Multi-Culti. That's what we do together. Years ago, Gus and I both have been involved in labels for ages. He was infamous for his role in Bang Gang, myself for Turbo Recordings for years. And I guess both of us had been through a lot of different kind of musical phases and felt like we had some new ideas that we wanted to share. We're both getting pretty involved in kind of half-baked new age philosophies and psychedelics and world travels. It all kind of infected our brain enough that we needed to have a different outlet other than the more kind of strictly club-oriented techno music. So that's how that came about. We don't really remember how we met or when it began strictly, but somewhere along the way there was like a trip to Goa, trial by fire at Burning Man, kind of him hanging out in Montreal doing gigs there, me out here in Australia, and yeah, I think for the last years there's been a lot of really great music that's come out that's sort of been influenced by or sampled music from all around the world, different things like from Comame, kind of fusing sort of like Latin stuff with like the 80s EBM vibes, or Fortet sampling African records, or all this stuff that just sort of is like one layer of influence sort of and mutation on top of another. So in a way, I think the label is kind of stamping that in itself as a bit of a genre, because I think to a lot of people it's like the exoticism itself has a lot of appeal, and that's a big part of the ethos of the label, which is not necessarily in just like a bonehead ignorant kind of way, of just like grabbing things from different cultures, but that genuinely, I think there's a lot of appeal in in borrowing or taking little bits and pieces from different musical traditions.
Why are you so tall?
I had a growth spurt. We've got a pretty solid base of artists from around the world. Definitely a strong Australian contingent with Dreems, Janga, and Kolo, who's ex-Bumblebees fame. And then we've got a little crew, out of Montreal, myself and Clarion, but really guys from all around the world, and stuff that's going to come out from Red Axes, who are some of our favorite producers from Israel, Acid Arab, who I guess are French, Moroccan, or Arab-ish. They live in France, but yeah. Then there's this guy Nicola Cruz, who's amazing, from Ecuador. We had Macaroni from Chile, Crowd Pleaser Record, which is a Swiss DJ and a singer from Burkina Faso.
For us, when we're looking for music or when we're trying to connect with people for music, it is largely through the social media. I guess it's scary to say, but we've been really lucky in the case with Multi-Culti, where we have actually had some of those beautiful old school A&R moments. For example, Thomas found a lovely Irishman called Peter Power.
Yeah, you know how I found Peter Power? I found Peter Power because one night I went to Berghain and I didn't get in, and then I ended up going to Renata instead. And he was DJing, and he was really, really cool.
There have been some wonderful moments like that in finding music. We've been lucky. I guess when we're sort of acquiring remixes and things like that nowadays, a lot of them are people, because it is I guess our baby. It's kind of a lot of wish list people. We kind of go, I'd love to have that person do a remix, and then we kind of make it happen.
And that wish list is really long, so it's just. It's kind of an easy matter of just getting in touch with people and seeing who we can get stuff out of. So we just released our first album this year, and it's called In by Dreems. Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Gus is Dreems. And it's a really, really, really nice album. Kind of a rare case these days of an album that's kind of best listened to, I think, start to finish. Kind of an ambient, chill out, post dancing kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like it's in the home kind of versions. I guess that's where the name sort of came from as well. It was like an idea of coming off the back of writing a lot of stuff that was orientated towards the dance floor and likely other things, dancing venues, etc. And I kind of made something that I guess I wanted to be able to listen to in the home, in the car, in the bedroom. So when I was starting to actually write the album, I was very interested in the idea of space and interested in finding out like how that could be integrated with the music. And I guess I tried to really capture that by putting my mind in that space, which, you know, I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do for some people, but it definitely was very influential for me. Another thing that I really tried to do this time when I was developing the music was be quite actively hands-on in playing a lot of instruments that I probably didn't know how to play as well, and, you know, capturing those imperfections. And when recording things, I did a lot of stuff in my house, mic'd up. I might have my piano mic'd up and would just sort of go, and it didn't matter whether my housemate came in the middle of it and started asking me questions about like where I hid the Cocoa Pops or whatever. You know, if it sounded good in the album, then that was totally fine with me. I'm not very pure when it comes to capturing sound that can have a lot of elements that are surrounding that moment as well. You know, when I record things through microphones, it's everything that gets caught in the background is actually quite nice. And the sound of like the ambient sound of Sydney in general is you know, interesting to me, and you know, I like that with any city. It's all part of, you know, it captures what you're doing then and there, I feel.
Yeah, my own musical projects are still kind of in the incubation tank or whatever. I've got a couple of little bits and pieces that I've released just as Von Party. On Turbo, I did that new Jack Tribal EP and put out a track on that, and just did a remix for this really good Trances record, which is a side project of that guy El Guincho. Other than that, I've got a bunch of kind of half-finished tracks, which we'll see how it comes together. I kind of want to do some different side projects that have a little bit more of a specific identity than just Thomas Von Party. But it remains to be seen how they'll be released exactly. This year on Multi-Culti, we've got a really cool series we're excited about. That's kind of like, the idea is all the different artists will contribute a song that ends up on a compilation, but also do a 1-hour mix. And the aim is to do 24 of these, so 24 mixes that kind of take you around the world. And it's such an international cast of artists that really will kind of take you around the world. And the first one's coming from this guy, Peter Power, who's done a mix that's based on the rainforests of Indonesia. And then we just travel around. Anti-Flow's doing one, Acid Arab, Kolo, Janga, Dreems, of course, Red Axes, and lots of different artists. So it's a project we're really excited about. It's going to take us all the way through the year.
During the compilation series, everyone will be contributing their mixes, and like Thomas said, it's a sort of journey around the world. And then we compile off the back of that some of our favorite tracks from the releases, which are around then, to make a compilation at the series of at the end of each 12 mixes. So we come with 12 mixes, then we do a compilation of 12 tracks, and that'll come out on a double vinyl pack when we get our act together.